Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here on Thursday the 4th of September. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. First up, a great big thank you to all of you who donated to our appeal raising funds for Macmillan Cancer Support throughout August. Just selling off a couple of final figures and then I'll have more news on you for exactly how much we raised in tomorrow's broadcast. But thank you so much to all of you who contributed. If you haven't yet, you can still do so. Go to justgiving.com/sailing-weather and you can donate any amount that you'd like to there, but I'll have more on that for you tomorrow. Thank you so much to those of you who've donated so far. High pressure in control, as you probably know, at the moment, and looks as if that's going to be the case for the coming days. You'll know that my original forecast was for conditions to be turning more unsettled after a sort of 4 or 5 day spell of fair weather at the beginning of September. Well, the idea of the 4 or 5 day dry spell is probably about right. It's just unfortunate it's gone on for longer. So I picked out the idea of the high forming. It was how long it's going to last for that really has taken me a little bit by surprise. Although there is going to be some rain around, it's not as unsettled as I thought that the middle part of September would become. Never said it was going to be drastically wet or a washout. I just thought it a bit more mixed, that it certainly appears as if it's going to be at the moment. So emphasis is on drier weather. This is the satellite picture from today, and you can see the banks of cloud affecting the country during the course of today. We've got two main areas really. We've got, not that one. We've got one that is sort of through Scotland here. We've got another one, just low cloud here across southeastern parts of the country and through the Midlands. Quite an interesting one actually, this one, because as you watch the sequence, watch what happens to the cloud. Early on, it breaks. There's the morning cloud. So you see that break coming through, and then watch, it gets filled in by convective cloud. A great lesson in what goes on in these situations there. Look, there the morning breaks. Now watch the same area. And look, there's convection developing, fills in the sunshine that develops. Now I think we're going to be finding more cloud coming in during the course of tonight, and then we've got, as I say, things dominated by higher pressure. We've got a front coming southwards though tomorrow night, on Thursday night, overnight into Friday. And that process continues into Saturday. Now, I could show you the charts with the high on and the front marked on, but really it doesn't tell you much. These charts are much better in this situation. This is the 700 millibar chart at weatheronline.co.uk, and what's interesting about this one is that it picks out nicely on the 90% line there. Look, this is about 10,000 feet, so where you get 90% plus at 10,000 feet tends to mean rain at the surface. Now, we've got the time on these charts up here in the top left hand corner, and what I want you to do is just to follow this process through. Look, as we go through tomorrow afternoon, through tomorrow night, there's the front, sorry, not through tomorrow, through tonight into tomorrow. There's the front coming southwards, look, into northern parts of England, going through Ireland, heading down through Wales and into the Midlands on Saturday. Now watch what happens. Look, the model is picked out quite nicely, the break forming across the Welsh mountains. So by early Saturday morning, it's breaking up even further, and look, the front just disintegrates into virtually nothing. Interestingly, here's the area of cloud and rain or showers affecting eastern parts of Scotland. So we see that front just disintegrating as we head through the course of Saturday itself. So I think that's going to be the feature of the weather. And then we've got higher pressure dominating things. But interesting to watch as well on the 500 millibar chart. Look, here's the trough coming in. Watch what happens to that, again from weatheronline.co.uk. Look, the trough moves through, it's associated with the front, and then we get that little centre of low heights that drifts down across eastern Scotland into the North Sea. Now this feature is being fed by the warm seas, and I told you about this yesterday. It's the warm seas that are feeding this feature, and eventually it does have to fade away as it drifts eastwards, but that is basically being maintained. You can see it actually happening if we go back. Look, here it comes, in it comes. That's being maintained, just that little cold pool, by those warm seas at the surface, creating instability. Now as we go through the next few days, notice troughs trying to get in, look, again from the west here, and you notice as they come across, look, they get into the ridge down here and they basically just disintegrate as they come through. That's a bit of a bigger one coming through towards the end of next week. Models really don't know what to do with this little feature here, but it zips its way through. It's certainly got some cool air coming into the back of it, but it does warm up quite a bit on its southern extremities here. That's what causes it just to fade away. However, I'm still going to go for shower risk during next weekend. You see there that little trough in the temperature contours. So I'm still going to call it a few showers next weekend, but really high pressure is the dominant feature. The 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow look like this. ECMWF on the left, we've got the GFS here on the right, and you'll notice here, look, higher than normal heights on both the GFS, the ECMWF and on the GFS. Although interestingly, look, the GFS does want to put a split in on that trough, look, splitting the high to the east and the high to the west. And this would be from next Thursday through to Sunday the 11th. So again, I think we've got to go for this idea of the threat of showers during next weekend. I don't see anything particularly widespread, but certainly the threat is there. Now, what about further ahead? Well, the MJO in a very weak phase just at the moment. It's coming into phase 3, or it's in phase 3. It looks like going into phase 4 around about the 14th. So that's going to be in 10 days time, and it comes out of phase 4 around about the 19th. But you notice here, look, it's very, very weak, that MJO signal. It's a very, very weak signal. So we're into phase 4 on the 14th, into phase 5 on the 19th. And this is how phase 4 typically looks. So that's how phase 4 would normally look, okay? So you see there, look, higher than normal heights, centered across Scandinavia, which is essentially what we're seeing. Trough out in the Atlantic, look, and there's the higher than normal height. So that's exactly the pattern that we're going to see, with periods of rain affecting western parts of Ireland and also the west of Scotland. Now we go into phase 5 around about the 19th. And you see phase 5 takes us into a more neutral setup. We got this significantly lower than normal heights up towards the north. So we do get this trough feature centered out here, but we've got a ridge out here. So you're getting your ridge building through here and going into a cooler northwesterly flow. So hints that the last part of the month, the last third of the month, certainly hinted at being cooler. CFS sees it like this. Week 1, look, it's got higher than normal heights across the country. Week 2, again, it's trying to bring this trough in, look. Sorry, let's get that right. There we are. It's trying to bring, zoom in again, it's trying to bring in the trough, look, out here towards the west with the ridge off towards the east. And as we've just seen, that essentially is that. So it's, you know, you look at that, you compare that. Very, very similar. And it was putting us into phase 4 around the 14th. Well, that's the chart from the 10th to the 16th, and just look at it. So I think what we're probably going to find is that Ireland, it may well be Wales, it could be western parts of England, western Scotland, do go into these more unsettled conditions, but the east always holding on to fairer weather. Now, what does it do after that? Well, I think the CFS then gets itself in a little bit of a twist, because it tries to bring the high pressure back in, it tries to dominate it through that final part of September. Well, certainly for this week 3 in September, it's trying to bring in the higher than normal heights, look here, lower or just slightly lower than normal in the south, keeps high pressure over us and keeps things generally dry across most of the country. But like I say, it's then into week 4 that things look to me to be a bit iffy. Trying to build this ridge through the States, tries to keep it built in here, puts a low out here. Yes, it brings in a northwesterly flow, so it's trying to see something. It's trying to see, look, phase 5. It's trying to get us into that pattern. So it's trying to do that, look, and it's a very, very similar look. There's the ridge all the way through, okay? And if you remember, there's the ridge, look, all the way through on the CFS. So remarkable similarities. One that I have to see at the moment to believe if we are going to go into that condition. If we do, then it would certainly be cooler across the country, drier through Ireland, probably through Western Wales, southwestern parts of England, much of Western Europe as well, but cooler, with most rain across the north and the west. But we shall have to see how that one develops. So, full update for you there. Good to me, 10 minutes. I'll leave you with that for now. Don't forget, weatherweb.net is kept completely free of charge by you keep on coming back and using the site. That's what means, that's why we're able to keep it completely free of charge. Although we are looking at introducing a subscription channel pretty soon. More on that in a wee while. But for now, thanks again for watching. Whatever you're doing, keep the sun shining, and bye for now.